Welcome back to another video. If you have incarnated into this physical life, into this physical dimension, then boundaries are an important aspect of learning how to develop a good sense of self. Because without it, you will not be able to live your unique soul signature. Boundaries can be defined as something that is related to your free will, that helps you practice your autonomous self, that helps you make choices and decisions based on your liking, your disliking. Boundaries can also be connected to your personal power. Anytime in your life there's a power struggle, anytime in your life you feel like you're powerless, you feel like your personal power is being tested or threatened, that's where you feel like your boundaries have been threatened, that's where your boundaries have been crossed. So to understand boundaries, it's important to understand that your boundaries are directly connected to your personal sense of self. It's directly connected to what you want as your individual, authentic, free and autonomous self. Boundaries are so underrated in the unconscious and 3D reality because people are not connected to their true self. So when someone is not connected to their true self, they are constantly allowing other people to make the decisions for them. They're constantly allowing other people to overstep their boundaries, and they are acting that they are okay with it because they themselves are not aware of what they value, of what they truly want, of what it is that they want to authentically create in their reality. So in the unconscious reality, in the unconscious world, in the unconscious society, boundaries hardly exist. People are constantly overstepping each other's boundaries. If you're someone like me who had a childhood where boundaries were almost non-existent, then you have to realize that it has a lot of effect and impact upon you developing your autonomous self. Either you are someone who has a hard time saying no, or it's always like you have this conflict going on about what other people want and what you want for yourself, and you have a hard time standing your ground. So it's important to learn how to stand your ground, and this does not have to be about something really big. It can be about something that feels like it's very small, but it impacts you on a personal level. If you do not have boundaries, if you do not practice boundaries, then it's going to be very hard for you to say no when you want to say no, and you are going to constantly feel like you have this uncomfortable feeling in your body when you're not able to speak your truth, when you hold yourself back. It's so important to know first of all who you are and what you want, and that can only happen when you are on this journey of learning to discover yourself even more and more. Because the more you discover yourself, the more you know who you are, the more solid you become in your personal truth, the more solid you become in what you want and how it's different from what other people want, what is their opinion, what is their thinking. You do not internalize and absorb their choices, their opinions, and lose yourself in the process when you know who you are. But when you are unaware of it, you are in a codependent relationship with everything in existence. You are just allowing the wind to push you right and left. You're allowing people to walk all over you and just do anything in the name of them thinking what's best for you. All these things are really on a subtle level. In the unconscious 3D reality, people focus on what they see and they believe what they are seeing. So there is no awareness of the energy, there is no awareness of the subtle level of manipulation that's going on within relationships, within people, within circumstances. But when you become aware of the energy, that you are a multidimensional being having a human experience, when you realize this, you are able to become aware of the energy, you are able to feel the subtlety of the energetic realm, which exceeds the physical realm, because energy comes first. Everything is energy. When someone does not respect your boundaries, they do not respect your emotions, they do not respect your existence, and they do not respect and honor your autonomous personal sense of self. If someone wants the best for you, if someone really loves you and respects you and honors you, they will never try to override or overstep your boundaries, because they respect your autonomous personal sense of self. They respect your free will. They respect and they want to see you grow and making your own choices and evolving in that. If you have ever been with a narcissist in a relationship, in a friendship, or any other kind of relationship, you can see that if you have trauma within yourself, if you have not filled those voids that you feel within yourself, then even if you can see that someone is toxic, you constantly allow them to overstep your boundaries, because there's a part of you that is wounded and you are in a trauma bond. So this happens when you're not aware of how much you are giving your power away. You think that this attachment is serving you because it gives you a sense of connection in some kind of way, but it's only going downhill. It's only going to get worse, because the universe is constantly giving you these red flags that you need to say no, you need to step away, you need to stand up for yourself, and you need to stand your ground. The universe has given you enough evidence through that person that you need to empower yourself, that nothing good is going to come out of it. There's a reason that you are in that relationship or friendship or in that situation where your boundary is being violated. There's a reason that you are in it, because the universe wants to teach you how to stand up for yourself for once, how to not back down, how to not allow people to walk all over you. Maybe that situation is placed your way in your life. It's a part of your assignment. It's a part of you learning how to realize and practice your personal power. If it wasn't for that person, maybe you would still keep allowing other people who maybe were not that toxic, but you would keep allowing them to overstep your boundaries. So sometimes we need these intense experiences, or these experiences are placed in our journey so that we wake up to our own personal power. So again, it's not about the person. If you focus on the person, you are still giving your power away. But if you come back to your center, you connect with your higher self, and you see it as an assignment that, wow, like this is really happening. I may feel uncomfortable, I do not feel like I am being honored, but wow, I am being taught how to honor myself. I am being taught how to practice my personal power. I am learning how to work with my solar plexus and my sacral chakra. I'm learning how to strengthen my core and how to stand solid in my authentic self. This is the approach that you need to have towards the assignments that come along in your journey that do not feel comfortable to you. There's a reason. So practicing boundaries is directly connected to your self-love. Now we live in a society that sees self-love as selfish, as egotistical, but it's completely farther from the truth, because when you love yourself, you are connected with the frequency of love. And when you are connected to the frequency of love from within yourself, you're becoming a living embodiment of the love frequency, and you're emanating it. So you cannot allow in, you cannot let in anything that is not a vibrational match to that love frequency. You cannot say yes to things you want to say no to. And let me tell you one thing, people who take your no as a yes are the people who are not willing to look at their shadows. They are not willing to look at their manipulative behavior, at their controlling behavior, because there is something that they are getting out of trying to control you. There is something that they are getting out of trying to impose their decisions or their beliefs or their opinions onto you, because they cannot stand the fact that you have the power to say no. That is why every time you say no, they take it as a yes. They do not honor your boundaries. These are the people that you need to set the clearest boundaries with, because they are unwilling to change. And maybe universe has sent you their way to show them that they cannot go around and just keep walking all over people. They just cannot keep doing that. So it's important to take responsibility of what you are saying yes and no to in your life. If you do not have the ability to say no, then you will never have the ability to say a full yes. A full yes. You have this knowing in your being when something feels like a full yes to you, and you have this knowing in your being when something feels wishy-washy, when something feels like it's off, like it's out of alignment. But we have been conditioned and programmed throughout our childhood to distrust how we feel. So every time we felt sad, we felt something was wrong, we were shut down, we were shunned down, because we were not allowed to have a personal sense of self. We were made and we were conditioned and programmed to follow up with what the adults around us wanted and thought. And we never even got the chance to develop a good sense of self where we are aware of our own emotions, our thoughts, our feelings, and what we want, which is very important in the process of growth and development of a human being. So you had to comply to what everyone else was thinking and saying, and you had to make their decisions yours and their emotions yours. This is the perfect example of enmeshment trauma, where your existence is enmeshed with someone else's. You do not know where they begin and you end, and it's highly toxic. In the conscious world, in the conscious reality, in a conscious relationship, you can have yourself and have the other person too. In a conscious relationship, the other person, including you are going to honor each other's boundaries. You're going to hear, you're going to really listen to what the other person is saying, and you're going to respect and honor that. You're not going to try to manipulate what they are thinking and they are saying. You're not going to try to change their answers according to what you want them to feel like, according to what you want them to decide. That is how much you love the other person. That is how much you trust God. Because if someone is saying no, and it may trigger something within you, or you may not like it, and you honor it, you're honoring the God within the other person, because you trust and know that everyone is on their own journey and you have no right to interfere with someone else's journey. If you like this video, make sure to like, let me know in the comment section how you feel, and also subscribe to my channel. You can also support me through the link in the description box below. And I hope that you stay blessed.